Welcome engineers, I'm Francisco, and today in this video we're going to show you how to take the punch-out chipboards you get for your Juggernaut and glue it onto your playmat so that you have a handy-dandy playmat with chipboard on it, as shown here in this completed version, so that you can take your cubes and place them into the tracks like that. If you get your playmat jittered while you're playing, the cube isn't going to go anywhere. So let's get right into it. All right, so first we're going to make sure we have everything we need. So you're going to need to make sure you have your laser cut chipboard. It'll come in a bag of the 4 different ones of this size for the 4 different Juggernauts. You also want to get its corresponding playmat, which will have the warm oxide, which we don't do anything with for creating, or the Juggernaut play side, but just so you know, that's what's on the back. So we have the gem torso chipboard and we have the gem playmat. Also, you're going to need a little bowl of water, some Q-tips, paper towel, or you could get a washcloth and some super glue. So here's how we're going to put this together. First, we're going to set the playmat to the side, and we're going to start by punching out all the different components of the chipboard. So first, we're going to start with the outside. So gently push them. Just gently push the different punch out places out. So first this part's coming out, and then we take the top part out and just move it, and voila, it should not be too hard to get that part out of the chipboard. So this, some of these will have extra little small square boards in this right arm and left arm area. Go ahead and take those out and set them aside and clean those. But for this one, those are player aids that are used for the game. And for this demonstration, we're not going to deal with that. So there's nothing on the back. You can just go ahead and throw this away. Or I guess if you really want to keep it, you can. But don't think you need to. Or you don't need to, I should say. All right, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and start cleaning the outside. You'll notice already on my hands, I have some of the laser cut soot. So we'll take our paper towel, we'll dab it in the water, get it damp here. It doesn't have to be super wet or anything, just damp enough that you can take the edges of this, and you're just going to you're going to wipe the laser cut soot off the sides. You can see it's already coming off here on the paper towel. And I'm not sure you can see on camera, but the parts that are cleaned will be more brown versus the parts that aren't will have more of a dark tint to it. So that's how you can tell if you've gotten there or not, just visually. And I think that does it. So now this part is all already cut out and wiped. Now we need to punch out the inner parts, because these are where the cubes are going to rest inside when we've actually glued this onto the playmat. So I usually like to start with the name piece. So just gently push that through. I usually use my thumbnails. And then once it starts coming out, just lightly push it. And we can set that to the side. Don't need that. Similarly, we're going to push on these parts. And these are a bit more finicky, so I just take my time, maybe push up, push down until I feel the paper cut part snap away. Okay, got this top part, and it is connected to the bottom part. But there's only 3 overall cuts that you have to worry about punching through, or 3 overall joints, I guess. I forget there's a proper term for them, but the parts that actually connect it together. So you discard that, do the same over here. Just gently back and forth, back and forth till it comes out. There's the bottom part. Back and forth, a little bit by little bit. Don't need to rush. All right. And got that part. Awesome. So you'll see that a little bit of this paper came off from the back right there. That's really okay because we're gluing this part down here in a second. But before we glue, got more soot on our hands. So let's just use that paper towel we had before. Just dab our hands a little bit. And now this is where we're going to take the Q-tips that we have. And this is where we're going to clean the insides of this. So get it a little damp. I usually will ring it around the edge of the bowl so it's not like super, super wet or anything. But then we're just going to go through, and I usually like spin it within the part that has the soot. And you're not going to be able to get this perfect, but it's just to clean up what you can. So you can go ahead and rinse that part off. I usually use one side a couple times before changing to the other side. So we got the inside name part. Now we're going to move to the outer attack strength and speed tracks. So I'll go ahead and just get them. Oh, see, I got a little bit there. So I'm going to use the clean side, just wipe that. And this is already starting to come apart, as you can see. So already I feel like, okay, well, let's just switch it up and use the other side. Fortunately, especially since you do have to do this 4 times for the 4 different juggernauts, I feel like it's worth it not to be super, super meticulous. All right, so now that we've got that, we're going to give this one more wipe. I'm going to use not the side that has all the soot from that when we did the outside, but fold it over and just wipe it down real quick. Just wipe the back some, get it as clean as possible. Oh, we caught some right there. You're not doing it with any sort of force because it's easy for the paper towels to get caught in these ridges. So just lightly clean it. All right. Now that we've cleaned this piece, if you turn it over, you'll notice it has glue in several spots. There's a little blurb there, and also instructions. Dashed lines are guides for gluing. Super glue is suggested. So you'll see all these little dashed lines all the way around the edges. So we're going to be gluing along those. But before we do that, we first want to make sure this is, we sort of have a sense of where this is going to line up. So you want to get it so that obviously something like that is not what you want. You want all the cutouts to go around the numbers on the top and bottom, and the cutouts in the middle to go around the name. And this does not have to be like super class perfection. I mean, you could try to do your best to get that, but it's going to be hard to do that. In fact, I'm going to lean in and look because I do like to get it as precise as possible. You can also line up where the arm connection is with this arm connection. That's another way to get alignment. And do that there. All right. So I think that is about as aligned as it's going to be. And so you're just really putting it here just so you can see, okay, this is about where it's going to go. This is what it should look like when it's done. Some things to watch for is that it should definitely not go below the fold of your playmat. There's a folded part right here. So if you want to have it folded and use that as a good reference of like, okay, it shouldn't go further than that, you could certainly do that as well. All right. But I also don't want this flinging up at me while I'm trying to glue down. So I like to have mine flat. All right. I think we have a good sense of where it's going to go. And now we're going to get our super glue out. I'm going to move that to the side and open this up and just slowly go around the edges. And you can start wherever you want, but I usually start about here. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going to start and go left to right. And you don't have to have this perfect string of super glue, and you also don't want and I got off the table there. You also don't want too much, because otherwise it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? There's glue everywhere. So just little blobs along the this dashed line. Okay, almost all the way there. And a good blob there, good blob here and here, and along this X. And keep my hands out of the glue, one more along the bottom. All right, so now, very carefully, you're going to take this without getting your hands all over the glue, flip it over, holding it on the edges where the glue is not, and then you're going to slowly try to put this down. I usually start with the leg parts because I can sort of eyeball where those are. Start those, and then get the rest lined up as best as I can. And you can readjust a little bit after you've set the glue, but you don't have much time. So, and I think that looks like, as I was putting it down, I'm like, whoa, I'm way off up here. But no, it's not too bad. I am a little high overall, but to me, it's not worth redoing. And now I'm just going to press in to make sure it bonds. You can still see all the numbers clearly. You can see the name clearly. And when we put cards in, and I'll show that here in a second, just grab some cards. When you put cards in, they'll still line up just fine. So if you have some of your power cards, open them. You can this is just to show you sort of where they'll line up. So you could put an arm there, and that way it sort of sockets in as opposed to being loose on the playmat. I mean, you could certainly line it up just with the playmat, but this looks a little nicer, I think. Okay, that one socketed in. Get some legs here and more legs. All right, so with that, we have a breeze type Briar Volcano coming at you with the gem torso. That is how you make a player mat board with the chipboard attached to it. The whole process, punching out the chipboard, cleaning it, and gluing it onto the playmat. Again, you don't have to do this to play and enjoy Junkyard Juggernauts. I just find it's a nice quality of life enhancement that you get with your game. So hopefully you enjoy. And remember, I'm not the warlord. Godspeed, Mageneers. Bye.